The pen and ink drawing, belaboring the obvious, is layered with contradictions. A detailed urban skyline rises in the background, its structures tall and rigid, while a cracked pane of glass with a bullet hole pierces the upper left corner. In the foreground, a large, gnarled tree-like object dominates, its roots and branches twisting in opposition to the clean lines of the cityscape. The glass, fractured yet intact, suggests a moment frozen in time, a single instance of violence or disruption juxtaposed against the seemingly indifferent permanence of the environment. The title, Belabouring the Obvious, hints at the tension between what is seen and what is ignored. From a Zen perspective, this piece invites the viewer to confront the nature of perception and impermanence. The bullet hole disrupts the illusion of solidity, revealing the fragility of the structures we construct around us, both literal and metaphorical. The tree, rooted and organic, reminds us of the interconnectedness of all things, standing as a silent witness to the ephemeral dramas of human life. The artwork encourages the viewer to embrace the present moment, to see not just what is obvious, but also what lies beyond it. In the I Ching, this image aligns with hexagram 49, GE, revolution, molting. The fractured glass symbolizes a breaking point, a moment of profound change where old patterns must give way to new understandings. The tree, resilient and adaptive, represents the enduring essence that persists through cycles of destruction and renewal. This hexagram calls for clarity and readiness to act decisively when transformation becomes inevitable, just as the glass cannot return to its unbroken state. Lao Tzu teaches that the Tao does not strive, yet nothing is left undone. The bullet hole and the glass are not opposites, but parts of a whole. The wound and its surface coexist, as do the city and the tree. The Tao flows through the cracks and the roots alike, reminding us that disruption is as natural as growth. This drawing reflects the Tao's quiet power, the strength to endure and transform without resistance. The broken glass acts as a metaphor for the interruptions and imperfections that define our existence. The tree-like figure, rooted in this context, represents the ongoing self, a living, growing reflection of what has been endured. To gaze upon this piece is to see oneself as both the cracked glass and the resilient roots, acknowledging the fragility and strength inherent in the human condition. This drawing emphasizes living authentically amidst life's fractures. The bullet hole and the cityscape are reminders of the suffering and beauty coexisting in every moment. Engaging with this image encourages mindfulness and acceptance of the interruptions as integral to the whole. We might interpret this piece as an allegory for the creative process itself. The glass represents the barriers, self-imposed or external, that attempt to constrain artistic expression, while the bullet hole symbolizes the breakthrough, a moment of raw, unfiltered truth. The tree, with its twisting branches and deep roots, is the creative spirit, constantly seeking growth and connection, defying the rigidity of the structures around it. The fracture in the glass immediately divides the painting into two distinct halves, the close-up of the jagged crack and the faraway cityscape behind it. The shattered edges of the glass seem to radiate out like fractures of thought or perception, while the distant shapes remain obscured. The bullet hole's sharp contrast with the surrounding texture evokes a sense of distance between the viewer's immediate focus and the scene beyond. What could have been an ordinary cityscape or room becomes fragmented and disruptive, an ordinary scene twisted by the presence of trauma or interruption. The title, Belabouring the Obvious, gives a clue as to the work's deeper philosophical undercurrent. The bullet hole, its violent interruption of symmetry and expected order, hints at an overemphasis on what might be the broken or obvious, directing focus to fractures and damage when all else may be smooth or ordinary. An otherwise banal scene is rendered distorted by the presence of a composite element of violence. Pause and examine the cracks in your own life, the disruptions that shape your personal landscape. See them not as flaws, but as windows into deeper understanding. Like the tree, root yourself in the soil of your experiences, allowing them to nourish your growth. Let the fractures inspire your creativity and your honesty, becoming the starting point for a more authentic self-portrait. Engage with life's disruptions and create something extraordinary from their chaos.